Hello students, we are discussing the third chapter of class 7th science, that is chemical substances and processes. So before starting today's topic, let's recapitulate the things that we have learned in our previous video. We have learned about the iron. Ions, the atom or group of atom which carry positive or negative charge is called ions, and the ions carrying the positive charge are called the cation, and the ion carrying negative charge are called anions. And these are some ions and cations. For example, sodium is an cation, magnesium, aluminium, calcium, hydrogen, copper, iron, zinc, and ammonium. And anions are chloride, oxide, hydroxide, carbonate, sulfate, nitrate, acetate, phosphate, nitrite, nitrate, and sulfide. Now we have also learned about how to write a chemical formula. So to write a chemical formula, first of all we have to write the symbols of the elements. Then we have to write the charges on the ions. And then in third step, the charges of the two ions are crisscross, and these numbers are now written at the bottom right of the symbols of the two ions. This gives us the chemical formula of a substance. I gave you some assignment question. I think most of you have completed this. So for your convenience, I am going to solve the chemical formula of zinc acetate. So the symbol of zinc is Zn, and acetate CH3COO. These are the symbol. The first step is, first of all, we have to write the symbol. In second step, we have to write the charges on them. The charge on zinc is 2 plus, and on acetate is 1 negative. And in third step, we have to crisscross the charges. Then the formula will become CH3COO twice Zn. This is the formula of zinc acetate. Second one is aluminium oxide. So aluminium, the symbol of aluminium is Al, and oxygen is O. The charge on the aluminium is 3 plus, and on oxygen it is 2 negative. And now we have to crisscross the charges, and the formula will become Al2O3. The third one is calcium oxide. Calcium Ca oxide O. Charge on calcium is 2 plus, and charge on oxygen is 2 negative. Now dividing by common factor 2, and the formula will become CaO. Fourth one is methane. Methane contains elements carbon and hydrogen. So carbon and hydrogen, these are the elements that form the methane. So the charge on the carbon is 4 plus, and on hydrogen 1 negative. The formula will become CH4. It is methane. Fifth one is your magnesium phosphate. Magnesium. Symbol of magnesium is Mg, and phosphate group is PO4. Magnesium 2 plus charge, and phosphate 3 negative. Again crisscross, and the formula will become Mg3PO4 twice. Let's solve some more formulas. For example, if we have to write the formula of copper nitrate, then we have to write the symbol of copper Cu, and nitrate it is NO3. Now charges on copper is 2 plus, and on nitrate it is 1 negative. Again crisscross the charges, and the formula will become CuNO3 twice. We know that 1 is not written as a subscript. So the formula of copper nitrate will be CuNO3 twice. Now we have to write the copper formula of calcium nitrate. Then again we will write the symbol calcium Ca, nitrate again NO3, charge on calcium 2 plus, and NO3 it is 1 negative. The formula will become CaNO3 twice. For example, if we have to write the formula of water, we know that water contains elements hydrogen and oxygen. So the charge on water is 1 plus charge, and on oxygen it is 2 minus charge. And the formula will become H2O. Okay. Now let's write the formula of calcium sulfate. Calcium sulfate. The formula of calcium is Ca, and sulfate is a SO4 group. Sulfate group. It carries 2 plus charge and sulfate carry 2 negative charge. Both will cancel out and the formula will become CaSO4. Okay. Now let's write the formula of magnesium acetate. Magnesium, symbol of magnesium is Mg, acetate again CH3COO. So the formula will become Mg CH3COO twice. And it is better to write it as CH3COO twice Mg. Okay, now let's discuss today's topic. I think you all have understand how to write the formula. It is very easy and interesting as well as important topic. So now let's move. Today we will discuss the changes around us. Activity, classify the changes, and physical and chemical changes. Example of chemical changes, chemical reaction, and writing chemical equation. Law of conservation of mass in chemical reaction. Now first of all, let's discuss changes around us. The substance can undergo different type of changes, and these changes may be slow or fast, reversible or irreversible, and physical or chemical change. You have learned in your class 6 about these types of changes. And change is the law of nature, as we know that in our daily life we come across several changes. For example, dissolving sugar in water. It is a which type of change? It is a physical change, a reversible change. Reversible changes. The changes that can be brought back to their original position are called reversible changes, and irreversible that can't be brought back to their original position. Slow changes. The changes that takes at a very slow rate, and fast changes that occur very quickly or that occur very rapidly are called the fast changes. Physical or chemical changes. No new substance is formed in physical change, and a new substance is formed in a chemical change. Now, dissolving sugar in water, it is a physical change, reversible change, and it is a fast change. Formation of curd from milk. It is again a chemical change because new substance is formed from milk. Irreversible and slow change because setting of curd takes time. Cooking of food. Cooking of food is a slow change as well as it is a chemical change. For example, if you boil an egg, before boiling it is soft and after boiling it will become hard. Similarly, when we cook the rice, before cooking they are hard and they are very hard to digest, and after cooking they will become soft, tastier and easy to digest. Slow, chemical and irreversible change. Cutting a piece of paper, it is a physical change, irreversible change and fast change. Cutting of vegetable, again it is a physical change, irreversible and fast change. Cutting of vegetable is a physical change, remember, and cooking of vegetable is a chemical change. Ripening of fruit. You generally see that the raw fruit is generally bitter and green in color. When it gets ripened, its taste as well as its color changes. It will become sweeter. So it is a chemical change, irreversible change, and it is a slow change. Melting of ice or wax. Melting of ice is a physical change. If again put the water in a refrigerator, it will become hard and converted into ice. Physical, it is a fast change, fast, or it may be slow change depending upon the temperature. If the temperature is high, then the melting of ice will become, rate of melting of ice increases fast, and it is a reversible change. Rusting of iron. You generally see that during rainy season and brown color coating formed on an iron object. It is rust. So rusting is a chemical process, irreversible and slow process. It takes time. Burning of candle, coal or wood. Again it is a chemical change because anything that burn, it react with the oxygen and new substance is formed. Chemical change, irreversible and slow. Digestion of food, again it is a chemical change because digestion of food takes place. Food get broken down into simpler substances. Chemical change, slow and irreversible change. Burning of cracker, again chemical but fast, rapid reaction. Fast and irreversible reaction. Folding of paper. When you fold the paper, it is a physical change, reversible change, and it is a fast process. Now let us discuss the physical and chemical changes in detail. A change in the physical property of a substance, that is state, shape, size or color, but it does not change into another substance, is called physical change. For example, stretching of rubber band. When you stretch the rubber band or a spring or hammering metal into sheets, these all are the physical changes. So no new substance is formed in it, and most of the physical changes are reversible. Most of the physical changes are reversible. For example, stretching of a rubber band. When you apply force on the rubber band, it will get stretched, and when you stop the force applying on it, then it will come back to its original position. And almost all the physical changes are temporary, means they are for a very short time. Now, chemical change. A change that involves a change in the composition and chemical property of a substance. A new substance is formed in it, and these changes are irreversible and permanent. For example, ripening of fruit, burning of wood, cooking of chapati out of dough, and boiling of an egg. Now, what are chemical reactions? As we have studied about the different types of chemical reaction that are generally irreversible, some are slow and some are fast. So what are chemical reactions? The process in which a chemical change causes one substance to change into another. One substance changes into another is called a chemical reaction. And substances which undergo a chemical change in a reaction are called the reactants. What are reactants? The substances which undergo a chemical change in a reaction are called reactant, whereas the new substances which are formed are called the product. For example, when we burn the coal in the presence of oxygen, coal and oxygen, these are the reactant. They react with each other and they produce carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide is a product. For example, if we take the carbon in a solid form, coal in a solid form, oxygen in a gaseous form, again the product will be carbon dioxide, which is in a gaseous form. When we set the curd from milk, milk is a reactant, and when we add 2 or 3 tablespoons of curd in it, it reacts with the curd and whole the milk gets settled into curd. The curd is the product. Now, writing the chemical equation. How to write a chemical equation? When we write a chemical equation, we put the symbols of the reactants. For example, when coal react with the oxygen, coal, it is a form of carbon. Carbon react with oxygen. Then what will happen? Carbon dioxide will be formed. These are the symbols of the reactants. And the reactants are written on the left hand side, and those of the product on the right hand side. These reactants are written on the left hand side and product are written on the right hand side. An arrow, you have seen that an arrow is put between them. Arrow is put between them. This shows that these are the reactant and they combine with each other. They form the new substance that is called product. The physical state of the reactant and product is written in bracket along with their symbol. For example, carbon or coal, we are taken in a solid form. Then we have to write the S. This shows that the coal is in the form of in solid form. Oxygen, G, it shows it is in gaseous form. Again, carbon dioxide will be formed. It is in the S stand for solid, L stand for liquid, G stand for gaseous, and AQ. It means aqueous solution. When anything dissolved in water, for example, when we dissolve salt or sugar in a water, it will form an aqueous solution. So we can write the chemical equation as it is. Carbon react with oxygen. Carbon in solid form, oxygen in gaseous form. Again, they will form a new product that is called carbon dioxide in a gaseous form. These are reactant and these are product. Reactants are written on left hand side and product on the right hand side. For example, let's take another example, that is magnesium react with the oxygen. The magnesium in solid state, as is written over here, it means it is in solid state. Oxygen, gaseous state, and it form magnesium oxide, MgO, and it is in solid form, MgO, magnesium oxide. Now, balancing the chemical equation. What do you mean by balancing? Balancing means both the sides must be equal. The balanced chemical equation is that in which the number of atoms of each element are the same on both the sides of equations. Now, why a chemical equation should be balanced? For example, if we are taking, this is a balance. You have generally seen the balance in the vegetable shop or in grocery shop. He measured the things and he balanced both the sides equal. Mass will remain the equal on both the side. Left hand side must be equal to the right hand side. Now, what is law of conservation of mass? During the chemical reaction, the total mass in the material contained in an object. During a chemical reaction, the total mass and number of atom of the reactant equals the total mass and number of atoms of the product. Mass cannot be changed. It will be remain same. For example, if we are taking the 4 hydrogen atoms and 2 oxygen atoms, they combine with each other and they will form 2 molecules of hydrogen. Notice there are equal number of hydrogen atom and oxygen atom on both the sides. For example, in left hand side there are 4 hydrogen atom, 1, 2, 3, 4. And in right hand side again they are 1, 2, 3, 4. Oxygen, there are 2 atoms of oxygen, 1, 2, 1 and 2. So the number of atoms of the reactant equals to the total mass and number of the atoms of the product. This is called the law of conservation of mass. That you have already studied in your class 7, the conservation of energy. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be converted into one form to another. Same, mass can also, it cannot be destroyed. It must be remain same on both the sides of chemical equation. Now, verification of law of conservation of mass in a chemical reaction. How to verify? One of this law is the law of conservation of mass, as we have studied, which state that matter is neither gained nor lost during a chemical reaction. And in other words, we can also say that what goes in must come out. So I think it's enough for today, and there are some assignment questions that you have to do, and in our next video we will learn about the rules for balancing chemical equation and how to write the balanced chemical equation. Thank you.